Okay. Everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shira David. Today was another beautiful day here in Eretz Yisrael, another beautiful Nate's Minyan. Baruch Hashem, Haidul Hashem Kitay. And again, we always learn for the well-being of our soldiers on the front lines. And I want to thank everyone that made contributions yesterday. After we did our view, it was amazing yesterday. After our thing, we got a lot of contributions to just one chesed. Yeah, it was amazing, mamish amazing.
For what?
Yeah. For the pack for the Super South the Packers.
For your thing?
I handed out a
I
lot of
left
packages
early to go
when I went to
out.
Gaza, and I guess and how much the soldiers appreciated it.
Yeah, and then Reb Shlomo made a video after.
Oh, beautiful! That's
You just randomly went to the soldiers here?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Contribution?
No, yeah, but that after.
Well, it's an advertisement.
Okay.
Advertisement.
Okay. He's one making guy. Okay. Okay. So anyway, we're going to continue our lessons here in Likutey Halachos. We're in Hilchos Birchas HaShachar, Halacha Hey, Yud Beis, and we're in the middle of Yud Beis. We left off. It's a little lengthy, and it's an amazing thing today. What we're going to learn about, and it's going to really give us a good understanding of why is it that if a person takes on the yoke of Torah, he loses the yoke of parnasa. In other words, his parnasa can come easier. We'll try to understand that today. But what is the connection? Is if I take on, I'm going to take Torah seriously, so then my parnasa I won't be latched onto that. It won't make me as crazy. Let's see how that works. Let's see. Ki bevadai, everyone has a place, right? Ki bevadai darkei Hashem efshar lahasik. It's impossible for us to ever understand the way of Hashem. It's impossible. Again, we explained this many times. Hashem is infinite. We are finite. And because we're finite, He is infinite. It's impossible for us to understand Hashem. Ki Hashem is baruch sheboras olam yesh me'ayin hamuchlat. That's a big statement. That's a big statement. That Hashem created the world from absolutely nothing. We don't even understand what that means. We can't comprehend what it means, absolutely nothing. Right? We don't understand it because we are beings. Right? So in other words, we are something. So how can I understand absolutely nothing? It's impossible for us to comprehend that even.
Even the people who believe in evolution,
Yeah.
say everything came from an amoeba. So where did the amoeba come from?
Oh, that I don't know. Right. Well, so you.
Black hole.
Where'd the black hole come from?
I love that one, a black hole.
No, but that's true. But no, Hashem did make a black hole. He did. Yeah. That was the Cholol HaPani. Right? Hashem retracted His light from that place. Right? He retracted His light, and that hence you have the black hole. Right? Allowed for creation. Right? Okay. But either way, we understand that this concept. How can we ever try to understand Hashem if I can't even understand how Hashem made everything from nothing, and I don't understand what nothing is? You see,
We don't understand everything either.
It's the lack of something.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Okay.
So what we learned last
Okay,
week.
what is that? You
I
can't
don't have
explain.
any
it.
idea.
What we learned last week is we shouldn't even be pursuing that.
No, of course. Right. The tachlis hayadiyah we learned is shaloi neda. Right. That's what we learned last week. The main thing I need to know is that I don't know. Right. Tachlis hayadiyah shaloi neda. I don't know.
We don't know everything either. We don't know when
I just have to rely on Hashem. That's it. Because He knows. He knows. I don't know.
No, I know. What I'm trying to communicate is that we don't know what everything is that He created either.
Of course we have. No. You don't know anything? No. That's why they keep making discoveries.
Right.
Right? It's a discovery. It was always there.
Yeah.
We just have to discover it. Right?
Reveal it.
Reveal it, discover it, the same. Okay. V'gam ata, and now, hu matzmiach chotze la behema. HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes care of all the things for all the animals. Matzmiach chotze la behema. He takes care of all of the animals, everything in the world. He takes care of everything.
It's an interesting statement.
Yeah.
Just here. Right
No,
there.
I'll explain to you why. The same way you say like this: if I don't do all these things, I won't be able to survive. So Reb Noson is telling you, wait a second, Hashem takes care of the animals; they survive. They survive. Right? They're all surviving somehow, right? Right? You go to Africa, right, in the jungle there, they all they make it work if they don't bother them, right? When the men come, when the guys come along, the poachers come along, then they mess it up. But the animals can do everything on their own. They take care of themselves.
All these cats are running around.
They what? Yeah.
The cats. They're all surviving.
Well, that's good. That means we don't have any mice.
Or
Right.
rats.
Right. Yeah. Umatzmiach ilon godol kazeh migaran echad. Right. The Kodesh Baruch Hu makes a great big tree. A great big tree from what? A little seed. A little seedling. Fascinating. Right? You take this little seed. What is it already? It's nothing. It's nothing. And the thing goes and it grows and it has all that information in that little seed. It's fascinating.
First, it totally disintegrates.
Yeah, of course. No. But let's talk about the seed for a second. It has all the DNA makeup in there, right? It knows exactly what type of tree it's supposed to be and how tall it's supposed to be, if it's supposed to produce fruits, if it's supposed to produce what it's supposed to. It knows everything. All in the seed. It's the seed is so amazing. Just the seed itself. Do you ever think of that?
It also grows in a place where it's supposed to.
In the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but it can't grow in a volcano, for example. So
No.
the seed ends up in a place where it can grow.
It's because
No, but I wouldn't say, because they do hydroponics, so they can grow in ground too, in water too today. They have different ways. That's not the point. We're talking about the seed. We're talking about the seed itself, okay? That Hashem can make this great big tree from one little seed. No one else can do. We can't do that, right? We can't do that. We can print things today. It'll be like something, but really, what is it? It's not that thing, right? We can resemble things, but we can't make a tree. Nobody can make a tree, right? You need a seed, right? They can't manufacture a seed to make a tree. It won't work.
In Dubai, they can.
Yeah, what can they do? What can they do?
Everything is manufactured. That's why I think it's
No, but you mean they can make a seed and then plant it and get a tree?
Whatever, my point was a joke, but my point
Okay.
is Dubai has everything man-made. The
Man-made.
trees man-made, the seed, their beach is man-made.
Okay.
They have so much money that they're able to somehow put these things together.
Okay. All right. Hu yachal livroi ulegadel es ha'ilon beli netias ha'adam. Really, Hashem can make the tree without us having any involvement in it, right? We don't have to have, right? You can go all over the world and go into different forests, different things. The things are there. No one planted those things, right? It can happen all by itself.
An animal eats the seed. And
Yeah.
It's fertilized in the animal, and then goes
He excretes, and then
spits it out, and it's already fertilized.
Right.
And it grows.
and then how do the bees do? Make the honey, right? And the bees go, they bring the pollen, they do this. And it's Levitic when you understand the way the ecology works, right? It's mamash Levitic. How each thing is taken
So
care of.
is that to enhance our love and knowledge of Hashem?
Yeah.
Or yeah, you're right. There's something called nature and science and.
Well, then we're going to learn. Wait. Let's continue. Hold on. Ulahatzmiach hatzfua bili hacharishu zriya shalodam. Without us having to plant and plow and all of that stuff, wheat. We can get wheat. Hashem can just make wheat. Why does He make it that we have to plow and plant? It's a lot of work, right? Right? It's a lot of work to do that. Right? And you have to make sure it gets watered right, and you have to make sure the ground stays good, right? You have to protect it. It's a whole big avodah, right? Ach Hashem yisbarach bara hakol b'shvil ha'adam v'rotza she'adam daike yase eze esek b'shvil gidel ha'tzfua va'ilan. Hashem made everything in a way that He wants us to have an involvement. He wants us to have that involvement, that we have to plant, that we have to do, that we have to get involved in. He wants us to do that. He doesn't need us to. In other words, really can happen on its own. But really Hashem wants us to have that involvement in it. Why? And Hashem makes it for all of those that are not farmers, right? For all of those that are business people, right? Professionals.
There's an element punishment. It's bizarre.
We're going to learn the way you're stealing the lesson. It's coming up. Reb Noson is going to bring that up. Hold on, wait a second. Reb Noson is building up to this. hold on. B'shvil parnasa. Aval bevadei hakol b'ritzoni yisbarach v'hashkachos levad. It's all Hashem's hashkacha. It's all Hashem watching over everything, and he has total involvement in every little nuance of everything that happens. It's fascinating. How much will produce, how much won't produce. Look, Hashem says if you keep the Shemitah, on the 6th year, you'll get double produce, and you'll have double the produce, so you won't need to, on the 7th year, you'll have enough. And it'll even go through the 8th, right? Unbelievable, right? So you see that really Hashem is involved in everything, but he makes us believe that we're doing it. But he makes us believe that we're in. Well, I have a green thumb. People will say that, right? And I can plant, and I can do all of these things, and that's why I have so much. Right in Israel, they'll tell you they have their drip system, right? They figured that out, and they can get that to work because we're so clever, right? Right? Because they're so clever, correct? No, Hashem wants it to grow. That's why they figured out how to make the drip system, and that's why it grows. It's the other way around. You understand? Not because they're so clever. They only know about that because Hashem wanted it to grow. So Hashem gives the guy the idea to help further him to say, is this Hashem or is this me? That's Bechira. You understand? All right. Now look. Uve'emes hakol yigias, kol iker yigias adam, v'atfua, uve'iske amasa matan, hakol haya michet adam arishan. Everything we have to do, this is all plan B. Right? Plan A was that Adam Arishan would not have sinned. Right? He would not have listened to the advice of the snake. He would not have sinned, and then we would not have had to have gone to work and do all of these things. Unbelievable. So this is Plan B. Plan A was we don't sin, everything goes nicely, and everything's done for us. What? What's that?
Bread was supposed to grow on the tree.
Everything was supposed to be ready for us.
Loaf of bread.
Everything. Right. The same way you have an apple that's already on the tree, the bread will be ready. Yeah. Shenigza b'zeyas apecha toicha lechem. Here you go, Shalom. See that? And that's where he made the gzeira b'zeyas apecha toicha lechem. Via the sweat of your brow will you earn your livelihood. Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. Be'itzvain teichlena. Oh, and you're going to have to eat be'itzvain. You have to make a lot of, you have to toil in it. You'll have to toil to make your parnasa. And everyone can attest to that, right? Right? You have to work hard, right? The parnasa doesn't come easy, right? Can everyone agree to that?
Sometimes it does, but a lot of times it doesn't.
But we have to work on it. We have to work on it. But ki ha'adam pagam b'hashgacha, because Adam was paigim in hashgachas Hashem. Hashem made the world, and He runs the world in a certain way that He wanted it to be. That don't eat from that. That's what Hashem wanted. But he was paigim in hashgacha of Hashem. Bebechinas matzashu ilona dechaya eitzachayim. There's a school of thought to say that this tree of Eitz Hadas Taivarah, it was an aspect of matzah that was on the tree. We're learning now about matzah, right? We're learning about matzah. The matzah is achlosa de menusa. It gives us emunah, right? We learned that, right?
Yeah.
So here we're learning now. The begam of Adam Arishon, it's an aspect of matzah, the same way the matzah comes with hashgachas Hashem. It's all hashgacha, right? We don't do any. We don't have involvement in it, right? We just put the water and the flour together, right? And then we get this crunchy cracker, right? It's different than we said when it comes to chametz. We have to have a lot of science to make the thing rise and to make it look to be tasty, right? It's a lot of science. But when it comes to this, it is not in the same way. He was in the garden, and he didn't have to eat from that tree. He didn't have to eat. If he would not have ate from the tree, he would not have messed with Hashem's hashgacha. You understand what happened? Hashem said, "Don't do this. This is hashgacha. This is Hashem's watch." He said, Hashem has a plan for this tree. Don't eat it now. When it came Shabbos, he was able to eat it, but he couldn't wait those few hours. Right? It was only a few hours. It was only a few hours.
No emotional intelligence.
Well, okay. Yeah. You learned the Chai Eitz Adas. V'ochel me'etz adas tov v'ra. And he ate from the tree, we know, from good and bad. Shul bechinas chametz, and that's an aspect of chametz. Because again, what was the problem of that? When he ate from that tree, he took what was certainly good and certainly evil, and he was able to mix them together. They got mixed together. And there, hence, we have the problems that we have today. We're still experiencing the aftermath of what he did, right? We're experiencing it now, perhaps worse than ever in the history of the world, right now, right? Where they could take good and they make good bad, and they make bad good, right? They switch everything. Everything gets mixed. And that's why we were punished. The person will have to toil to eat his bread. Mishum kol yagias, all the toil and all of the effort that the person has to put in to produce his fruit is all from that. The same way, like when you're making bread, you have to put do a lot of science, you have to do a lot of work, right? You got to do the eggs, and you have to proof the yeast, and you have to do a lot of things, right? You got to do a lot of stuff. Same idea. Aval Yisrael she'amdu al har Sinai. Here, now look at this, guys. Aval Yisrael she'amdu al har Sinai. But we, Klal Yisrael, when we came out of Mitzrayim, and we went through the Yam Suf, right? We went through the sea, right? And then we trekked through the desert, the 49 days. Right, the whole trip, right? And then on the 50, we got to Har Sinai. And we accepted the Torah. So what happened? Let's see what happened. Posca Zumasan. All of the filth, the impurity that was infused in us via the snake left us. It stopped. It left. It wasn't there anymore. It left us. Val Cain. Kola mekabel all of old Torah mavirim imenu all malchus all derech eretz. And therefore, you see here. Look at this beautiful. This is so beautiful to understand this. This is one of the most beautiful lessons for Reb Noson. As we have this problem of bezeis apecha toicha lechem, we have the problem of the itzvan teichlena. Right? You have to toil and all of that. But we can't. Why did that happen? That came about because Adam messed with the hashgacha of Hashem when it came to the Eitz Adas Tov V'Ra. But when we came, and then the snake was able to infuse the impurity into Chava, and then we all became impure because of that. The Heichalat Temura, right? All of that stuff. When we came to Har Sinai, we were cleansed. Everything was fixed. We were fixed.
So it would have went back to Adam before?
Went back to Adam before he ate from the tree. It was reset. Everything was reset. The same way it's going to be reset when Mashiach comes. It'll be reset again. But the only difference is that's the final gula. There won't be a way for us to make the mistake again. Why? Because at that time Hashem is going to remove the Yetzer Hara. See that? Now we understand. Right? When Mashiach comes, what's going to change? The Yetzer Hara is going to be removed. Hashem did not remove the Yetzer Hara by when it came to Har Sinai. Right? At the final gula, but we're waiting for mamish any moment, the Yetzer Hara won't be there anymore. So again, when Hashem resets it, we won't be able to make the mistake again. You understand now? You understand what the difference between the Geula Asida is going to be from the Geula we had from Mitzrayim? Do we understand?
Big difference. I mean,
big difference.
There's no Yetzer Hara.
We can't mess it up.
We can't mess it up, exactly. You can't mess it up.
Outside, I messed it up with the golden fair.
Exactly.
I almost like it with the Yetzer Hara because it gives you a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, it gives you not a little bit; it gives you a big challenge.
Good, you could take part of mine if you like.
It gives you a challenge you can't win.
No, that's not true. Because really, Hashem only gives us the challenges that we can handle, and He won't let the Yetzer Hara attack us for more things than we can handle. So we have to remember that. But yet again, it still gets hard. Okay, so here's the point. Okay.
You don't know my Yetzer Hara.
Okay. Well, the greater you, because you're a big tzaddik, so you have a big Yetzer Hara. That's how it works, right?
Steroids. Okay.
No, I feel. He's got a few years on me, so I need this. I think at some point.
No.
On steroids, he's still saying that?
No. Okay, but take the great tzaddikim, and those Yetzirahs are like bodybuilders. No, they're monsters. We don't understand that because we know when the levels Hashem keeps everything always balanced in the world. So if your Yetzer Tov goes up, your Yetzer Hara goes up. The bigger your Yetzer Tov is, the bigger your Yetzer Hara is. Right? The Gemara says in Brachos, right, when it comes to the next world, Hashem is going to show the Rasha, right, the cup of milk, right, the cup of milk, right. There's a cup of milk and there's a little hair in there. So how much? This is what the Gemara says, right? How much trouble is it to take the hair out? Take your pinky, you flick out the hair. It's no big deal, right? That's the Yetzer Hara from Russia. And then he's going to show the tzaddik, he's going to show the Russia, the tzaddik Yetzer Hara, he had a big mountain. He had a big mountain. Like, some of these mountains, we have to walk up over here, right? A big mountain, right? Amazing, right? But again, either way, at that time, the Zulma was finished. It was stopped. We didn't have, in other words, the Yetzer Hara was there, but it reverted back to Adam before eating of the tree with the snake. You understand? Before the sin. But the snake was still there. Do you see the difference? Right? The snake was still there, but it reverted back to before he ate from the tree. So that's why the Zulma, the impurity, left. Okay, but now what happened? But now he says, "Kol makabel olav ol Torah ma'avirim imenu ol malchus v'derech eretz." This is so important. Anyone that says, "I take upon myself the yoke of Torah. I want to do the right thing. I want to learn Torah. I want to be connected to Hashem. I want to do mitzvahs. I want to do the right thing." A person says, "I want to do the right thing. I want to come back. Enough of this nonsense. Enough. I'm done. Stop. End. I want to stop. I want to come to..." So then, in Shemayim, they take away from the person the burden of the government. They take away the burden of his livelihood, of the difficulty of earning his livelihood, because now he took on something that's very, very important. He took on what he was supposed to do. So in other words, you're going to be stuck with one. So now the question is, which one do you want to be stuck with?
The word all is
a yoke.
Here because
it's a yoke.
Not easy.
It's not, no.
It's hard work.
The Torah is hard work, but it's very gratifying. It's very rewarding. Right? It's very, very rewarding. When you study
it's
Torah.
the best deal in town. Meaning you're going to have to work hard no matter
That's
what.
right. So, but work hard on your Torah and watch the other things will go a lot easier.
Yeah. Even though you started off by saying,
Right.
hey, you're not going to get much cash out of this. If you think you're going to get some parnasa, it may end up actually...
No.
You get pronounced.
No. You'll still get what you want, what you're supposed to get. You'll still get what you're supposed to get.
Yeah.
The same way we say when a person gives tzedakah, right? There was a very wealthy person that lost his money, right? So how do you have to give him his parnasa? You give him the way he was used to, that he was used to. Right. You don't give him, right? The guy was used to having, or this, that, and the other thing. So you don't tell the guy, well, listen, I'm sorry, you don't have your money now, so therefore you can't have these luxuries anymore. No, you're supposed to give him what he was supposed to have, what he had, what he was accustomed to, right? So what do you think? Hashem doesn't do that also? Right? Hashem keeps the Torah also, right? Right? So if I have to give tzedakah like that, doesn't Hashem do the same way? And everything Hashem gives us is tzedakah. Right? He's giving us tzedakah. We don't earn it. It's all He gives it to us. He's just kind. Right? Do we understand that?
Yeah.
Or do you want to discuss a little more?
No, that's good.
Okay. For now, okay. Ki tzrichen lekayim have a ma'at be'esik v'osik b'Torah. I can be mekayim when it says have a mima'at. I just have to do a little bit. I have to do something. Like the story I told you with the Baal Shem Tov. He knocked on the door, right? He knocked on the door. Hey, that was I did a little ma'at. We didn't do anything. I did. I knocked on the door. I knocked on the door. That's a ma'at. I knocked. Hello. He did something. Because all the parnasa comes from Hashem. We have to remember that. It's not because I go to work is why I earn my money. It's not because I go to the office and I'm there 9 to 5 or 9 to 10 or 9 to 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever the people do today, right? Right? Some people do that, right? Right? Some people stay in the office all kind of hours and they're thinking, oh, wow, I'm going to make more money. I'll make more money because I stayed longer in the office. Right? People will tell you that. Right? But really the parnasa is from Hashem levad. It's only the Rebbe Noson. He gives it to you. So you don't, the question is now, if I'm not going to go to Minyan now, because I have to have a meeting, so I can't, how can I go to Minyan? How can I go to Minyan? Because I have a meeting to do. I have to make my parnasa. I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose my account. No. There's been so many stories of people that do the right thing. People respect them, and they give them so much more, right? I'm sure Shalom has 25 stories like that, right? Shalom has all the stories. Right? Do you have a story like that, Shalom?
I'm sure I do.
Okay, all right. I thought for sure you have a story. Okay. Levad. Okay, so, but we understand that, right? It's all from Hashem, and it's not what we're necessarily doing. Hashem makes it look, because then again, that's the Bechira, right? We have the free choice. So Hashem makes it look that we're so clever, we're so crafty. Right? Right? It says in Parshas Eikev, right? Right? In other words, I think I'm so crafty, I'm so clever, that's why I was able to make this. Hashem just wants He wants to give us that Bechira. But really, it all came from Hashem. That we get through the holiday of Shavuos, Kabbalah Satorah. Now we said, every single day is another Kabbalah Satorah, right? Every single day. Every day we say the Birchas Satorah, right? Every single day we say, Ashabacha banu mikol amim v'nosan lanu es Torah, right? Every single day is an aspect of Kabbalah Satorah. Every time you make the blessings on the Torah. Every single day. Sha'oz nimshach eis rotzen, because then you can turn on that eis rotzen, that time. I ask Hashem always for the eis rotzen, right? We say by mincha, we say by vanit tfilosi l'Hashem eis rotzen elokim, right? The beautiful pshat on that. What does it mean? It's an eis rotzen. Why is that the eis rotzen?
Is it because mincha is the hardest?
No, wait, one second. Anytime that I turn to Hashem, it becomes an Eis Ratzon. Vani tfilasi l'cha Hashem, Eis Ratzon. When I daven to you, Hashem, that becomes the Eis Ratzon. You understand?
So it's not after the mincha.
No, if that's when we say it.
What's
because
Eis
that's
Ratzon? What does that mean, Eis Ratzon?
An auspicious time.
Auspicious.
Is that a good way to say this? Is that a good way to translate that? Yossi, you accept that? Okay. What? Do you remember those words? We say that before we take out the Torah mincha, right? On Shabbos, right? Right? Do you remember those words? Vani tfilosi l'cho Hashem eis rotzain Elokim b'roiv chazdecha aneni be'emes yishach. Remember those words we say, right? Right? Okay.
Say it also in the Chagim, right?
Yeah. We say that also in the Chagim by the Hashem, right? Right. But we're learning here something so amazing. Anytime you turn to Hashem, it becomes that Eis Ratzon. Anytime you turn to Hashem, you make it that auspicious time. You could do that any time in the day, anytime. But it's the most opportune time is when you're saying your Birchas HaTorah. Right? When you say the Birchas HaTorah, you spend a couple of moments to think and contemplate, right? That's an amazing thing. Because you're turning it, mamash, into an Eis Ratzon. I'm doing it for you, Hashem. I'm turning to you. I realize it's you, Hashem. It's not this guy. It's not that. It's not my stockbroker. It's not this guy. It's you, Hashem. I realize it's you. These guys are all your messengers. But I realize you're controlling all of them. It's amazing. Not those guys, Yossi, that you met the other time and say he's going to do this and they're going to do that. Right? It's the exact opposite. Right?
Their own Torah. Though.
Right. The exact opposite. Right? The exact opposite.
Yeah.
But do you think that that's the way it really works? The way they said?
I don't think it's the way it really works. But when you have that
Things don't turn out the way it did. Those Republicans wanted the Republican guy. It didn't work out. They think it's working out. They delude themselves. Again, it's the bechira, the free choice. Am I going to realize it's really Hashem that it is, or is it my money? I have more money. Yeah. The bechinas pigeon ha'elyon. A person can get that pigeon ha'elyon. He can get that ransom. The redemption, right? The pigeon, right? He can get that pigeon. He can get that ransom ha'elyon. And that's how you can have sweeten all the judgments. Just turn to Hashem, because that's all Hashem wants you to do. He just wants us to turn to Him, and then He fixes the whole problem. Because the whole problem is we stayed away from Him. When we come back to Him, we turn that into the Eis Ratzon, and then Hashem is sweetening the judgment for us, because the opposing angels on heaven are constantly bringing opposition against us. Right? They're bringing the case against us. So when we turn to Hashem, Hashem can shut them up. Right? Look, the guys are doing what they're supposed to do. What do you want? Fixes it. We fix it. We grant Hashem the ability within His rules. Within His rules. Again, really Hashem can do anything He wants. But these are the rules that Hashem made. Okay? Hashem made these rules that there are these angels that are constantly complaining that we did this and this and the other thing, right? Right? So Hashem, when we turn to Hashem, we make that the Eis Ratzon. Hashem takes the din, and He can be mamtik the din. He can sweeten the judgment because He can shut up the angels. Unbelievable, right? The shleim is ad shenischapech hadin lerachamim, until you can change the din over to mercy. You can change the strict judgment over to mercy. Ad shenichlal hateva b'ashkocha, until you realize that there is teva, there is nature, but the nature is really run by Hashem. The nature is Hashem. We're not going to say there's no such a thing as nature. There is nature, right? But the nature is run exactly the way Hashem wants it. Nature doesn't run by itself. Nature runs exactly how Hashem wants it to run. So we could be nichlal hateva b'hashkocha, right? We can include the teva, nature, in the hashkochas Hashem. Isn't that amazing? That's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Shezeo bechinas shenimtak bechinas hachametz b'shleimus, and that's when the idea that the chametz was really fixed when it came to Shavuos. The chametz, the bad chametz was fixed when it came to Shavuos. Why? Because we brought the shtei alechem. That was chametz, but that wasn't tainted chametz. That wasn't tainted. The other chametz is tainted with the zuma of the nachash, right? But the thing that changes is when you bring the shtei alechem, it's pure chametz. It's pure without the impurity of the nachash. Isn't that amazing? You don't understand. Let's do it again. You want to explain it again?
Well,
Okay.
the shtei alechem has, like you're saying, it's a pure flour. Is that the idea? Like, what makes it so?
No.
sweet?
They realized when they were baking it.
Yeah.
Let's think about something, Yossi. What happened with the lechem haponim that was on the shulchan in the Beis Hamikdash? Let's talk about that for a second, okay? And let's see if we can understand based on what we learned.
That didn't
Explain to us what happened.
You would take full risen fresh bread.
Breads, and they made them a certain way, right? They had to be
right.
built, baked a certain way.
Apparently, they would leave it there for 1 week.
1 week, right?
Right
1 week.
out. And when they came back,
And they didn't put it into a Ziploc bag.
No Ziploc.
They didn't put it into a preservative, nothing. Right? They made the bread.
That's true.
And then the bread stayed warm, nice, fresh, all week long. And there was always bread on the shulchan, right? What they did was they took one bread and they slid it on, and they took the other one off. So there was never any bread that was on the shulchan. Remember, right?
Yeah.
They were a funny shape. They were like a U shape.
That's right.
Right? There was some kind of a U shape, right? And they would take the bread and they would slide the new one on, and the other one would come off. So that means the shelf always had bread on it.
Right.
But that wasn't regular bread, right? Regular bread, we know, right? You make bread today, and you leave it sit on the counter overnight, you gonna want to eat that bread tomorrow? No. It'll be overly crunchy, right? You ever do that?
No, I've never made bread.
No. You ever have bread sitting on the counter, or you had leftover challah, you left it on the table, right? And you didn't cover it up. It gets a little bit hard, right? You could throw it at someone, right? Huh?
I said I don't like when people do keep the thing uncovered because it gets ruined.
No, I understand, but we're saying, but this bread was different.
This bread was different.
This bread was
Stay
different.
fresh, that's right.
Right, so we realized it's on that, and why? Because it was Hashkachas Hashem.
Right.
In other words, when we turn to Hashem, we break the rules of Teva, because it's really Hashem. If Hashem wants our bread to stay fresh, it'll stay fresh.
As opposed to when I do it with
But
my own hands, and I leave it out there, it gets old.
But only, absolutely,
And you
I'm
make
not
Melba taste
questioning what you just said, but
You
now,
can.
Today's world that we're in,
Yeah,
we can break it. We could bake the bread
yeah.
with all the intent talking to Hashem.
Yes.
But if we don't do something extra to keep it fresh, it's
I
not
understand
gonna-
because again we are stuck. I mean, we are stuck in
Stuck in
this
Teva,
mess.
right.
We're stuck in it, but we're learning it. It can be done in a way, right? There was many beautiful stories, right? You ever hear the mamish big? Do you ever hear the Rebbe of Shaila Mikeres there? You ever hear that Rebbe, right? Yeah. Right. And how did he become famous? Because one time he was giving out the bilkalach, he was giving out those rolls, right?
Yeah.
And his Rebbe saw that he was giving out, he had a big bag of rolls, and he was giving out rolls, but he only had, let's say, 100 rolls in the bag. Right? He only had 100 rolls. But he kept giving out rolls, 200, 300, 400, the rolls were in the bag. And the Rebbe said, well, something's going on here. Something is strange going on over here, right? I'm only giving you a story that you heard. You heard that story, right?
It reminds me of it, yeah.
Right, you heard
I
it.
heard that he helped with mice.
No, that's a different thing.
Different thing, yeah.
That's different. He helped me, yeah. But I'm telling you about the story. That's how the Reb Shaila became famous with his challah, giving out the bilkala, the little rolls. In Yiddish, they call a little roll a bilkala. They call it a bilkala, a little roll is a bilkala. So he was giving out the bilkala, he was handing them out, but how's he doing it? Really, we're stuck in Teva. You see what I'm saying? I'm giving you that story so you understand. We're stuck in Teva, but we don't have to be stuck in Teva. Okay?
The Rebbe gave out dollars. They never.
He never ran out of dollars
ran out of
either.
dollars
Yeah. He gave out a lot of dollars. Yeah, in those years, a dollar really meant something. It really was worth something, right? Yeah. Okay, the Alkane Oz, Maven Chametz Taikel Carbon. So therefore, by Shuas, we specifically bring, that's the only time of the year that they would bring a carbon. The carbon, not with the Shtei Alechem was there all the time. When we brought a carbon to Hashem, was the Shtei Alechem was only on Shuas. Only on Shuas. Eis Ratzon Elikim B'Roiv Chazdecha Aneni B'Emes Yisher, right? Eis Ratzon. Right? Ki nimta kadin kol kach ayedei pigeon ha'elyon. Through that pigeon ha'elyon. Remember we said like this. There's a pigeon that you can get to go to each one of the 24 courthouses. Remember we learned that? Right? There are 24 different courthouses. So you can get a pass for each one of the courthouses. But then we said you can get this grand pass. Right? The VIP pass. The grand pass. And with that pass, you can get through anywhere. Go anywhere you want. Do anything you got to do. No problem. You don't get stopped. Right? Right? We understand that, right? You have a pass, right? You can go right through, right? Sure. You have that right pass.
I love those passes.
You love those passes, right? In the airport, there's that pass, they go right through, right? Anywhere they go right through, and there's a big line, you go right through, right? Amazing. Yeah, so there's a pigeon Elyon, right? If you can get that pass, this is the best pass of them all. Because then you can get through any mess in Shemayim. These things down here are cute. Okay. It takes me another 10 minutes, another 50, whatever it is. But to be able to get through any kind of opposition in Shemayim, because I got that pass, wow.
How do I get that pass?
Oh, that's we're learning. Yeah, we're learning. Ki kol ka'ayadei pigeon elyon, ad shemaminim be'emes. And I believe be'emes shegam ha'teva ba'atzma she esik masa matin hu rak b'chashkachosa yizbarach. I have to believe, but this is not just to say it, mamish believe in and practice this. That I understand that anything I earn, I'm only earning it because Hashem wills it to me. He wants me to have it. And if Hashem didn't want me to have it, no matter what I do, I could spin my wheels I could just keep trying. I'm not going to have it. And there are so many people that can attest to this, that they worked so hard and they never got anywhere. And they don't understand why. They don't understand why. Right? Because it's only what Hashem wants the person to have is what the person will have. Right? Yeah. Oz gam ha'esek she'oiskim b'masa matin. Then even the work that you do, whatever work you're doing, right? If you're a businessman, you're a professional, whatever you're doing, you're a farmer, it makes no difference. Whatever work you're doing, hu b'kedusha gedola. Now that becomes holy. Because again, when I realize what I'm doing this is because Hashem wants me to do it so I can have this. But it's because Hashem wants me to have it. So then that becomes a holy act. Isn't that amazing? We can go to work and follow the Shulchan Aruch. That's why you have to learn Shulchan Aruch, right? So you know how to do business. You know what to say, what you can't say. You know how you can make a deal and not, and what you shouldn't do, and so on. Bibechinas masa matan be'emuna, doing my masa matan, doing my transactions with emuna in Hashem. That becomes the Eis Ratzon, right? That becomes the Eis Ratzon. Bibechinas toiv Torah im derech eretz. Tov Torah im derech eretz. You know what that means? Torah is good if you have your livelihood, right? Right? If you have your sustenance, if everything you have what you need, so then you could study Torah, right? If you have everything's taken care of. Because if you do the two of those, you forget the sin. You forget that original sin. You forget the thing of Ezeyas apecha teicha lechem. If I'm involved in Torah, I see the beauty of the Torah, I'm not thinking of the sin. I realize it's all you, Hashem. Then my Masa Matna is all you, Hashem. And I just feel lively all day long. I feel connected with Hashem with whatever I do. So then I forget all of that stuff with the Adam and his sin and all of that nonsense. Because I'm involved in my own world with Hashem. Because I fixed my mind. I fixed that, the Koyach HaMedama, I straightened it out. Remember, we keep learning about that, right? I fix my mind and I start to imagine the right things and I feel like I'm with Hashem. That changes the whole dynamic of my whole existence.
You want an example?
What? You have an example?
Yeah.
Okay.
My house flooded after I came to Israel.
Wow.
And I made $50,000 on it.
Wow.
Hashem gave me an additional $50,000 after fixing the whole
over the money that you had to fix the house.
I had to pay to fix the house.
Oh, so you redid the whole house.
We did the whole house. And I made $50,000.
And you had $50,000 profit.
Right.
Wow, kol hakavod. See that?
You don't get that in Israel usually.
With what? The what?
You don't get like $50,000. That's a big one.
In America, you got
$50,000 to get here in Israel.
No, it was in America.
You won't get.
America.
My house in America.
No, you won't get dollars. You're not going to get dollars here in Israel. In Israel, they give you shekel. They don't give. They don't do
The
business.
story has a much different ending.
Yeah.
In what?
Yeah, it's much different.
What's
Here.
that?
The story is much different here.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting extra 100,000 shekel.
Depends what insurance you have.
And I think if it's menorah gold, you're not getting it.
No, menorah gold, you're not going to get. Okay.
You
Okay.
get something to get you by in a little, hostel, but
It's not going to be. It's not going to be grand. Yeah. Ki be'emes ika esek hamasa maten hurak b'shvil zeh lashkiach hava. Hashem sends us to work to forget about this sin, to forget about it. So if we do the work with that way that we're connected to Hashem, if you see how beautiful that is. You go to work and you realize your mom is with Hashem in the office. You're with Hashem. You realize that, right? That's all Reb Noson is trying to do, to make us aware that wherever we are, we're always with Hashem. We don't do things alone, right? Ki yadua l'kol, because everybody knows l'kol echad ve'echad eich hamachshavos roitvim oisai b'chol yom. We all know how our thoughts are chasing after us, and the thoughts are flooding us literally floods of thoughts all day long. There's no way, there's no answer. There's no answer to get rid of those thoughts unless you study Torah. So you gotta say, well, listen, if I smoke marijuana, I'll forget it also, right? Yeah, only until the marijuana wears off, right? Then needs more of it, right? Torah is the actual fix, right? I'm telling you, I study with people, and they say, I could smoke marijuana, and then I forget all of that stuff too, right? Everything's a dandy, right? For how long? Right? It wears off, right? How long it does, and then wait a second, and then it needs more. Right, he needs more, but then that doesn't work. He needs a stronger, right? But Torah.
But the difference is the Torah is free. But if you don't keep studying Torah, it will also disappear.
Yeah.
You also
Right.
lose it.
Right, but again, when you study the Torah, you're refining yourself, and the more you refine yourself, the better chance that you constantly have because you're working on refining yourself.
And it's less expensive.
Shehi ikar hatzalah. That's our main salvation, and that's our main healing. Hashem said, I made the Yetzer Hara, but I gave you the Torah as the antidote. The Torah is the antidote to the Yetzer Hara. Nothing else. The Torah is the antidote. So if you engage in Torah and you take on the old Malchus Shemayim, then the Mavirim, they take away the yoke of this world. You don't have to worry about the governments. You don't have to worry about the other things. K'moshe Kosa, Mizima Tishma Alecha. Aval she'efshel la'adam la'asik b'Torah b'chol yoyim b'frat ha'moinam. But really, can you study Torah all day? Especially the regular people, ordinary people. Can they study Torah all day? So, but there are a few select people. But not everyone can stay all day and study Torah all the time. Therefore Hashem made these amazing different things. He gave everyone something to do, to remember Him during the day. To study Torah or do your work, whatever you have to do, and be engaged with Hashem at the same time. Mazel tov on Yasiyim, Yasi. Sheyitzrach ha'adam la'asek be'eze esek u'masa u'maten parnasa k'dei lashkiach hava. Hashem gave us this thing that we would have to make a living. But to do it in that way, they realize that the living comes because Hashem wants you to have it. To forget the oven. To forget all of the things, the shmad, all of that stuff, to forget all of that. Because now you're involved, you're busy. You get busy. But when you're busy and you realize you're doing it with Hashem, that's such a beautiful thing. The day goes by so good. The day goes by so nice. Because you feel a purpose in your day. It's not just another day, passing the hours. You feel like I'm accomplishing something.
What do you mean by you're doing it with Hashem during the day while you're working? I'm trying to.
You realize you're constantly talking to Hashem during the day, right? And you realize when you talk to your customer, you ask Hashem, please give me the words so I know that my customer will be happy with this, right? Hashem, please help me out here because I don't exactly know. Right? You talk to Hashem the whole time. Yes. Bring Hashem, bring Hashem into your day. Bring Hashem into your business. Bring Hashem into whatever work you're doing, whatever you're doing. Let Hashem in. Let Him in. He's there anyway. Let Him in. Give him entry. Let Him in. But to remember that all the hashgacha, all your work is really only via Hashem. It's only via Hashem. It has nothing to do with what we're doing. It's all what Hashem wants us to do. Hashem makes us that we have to do something in order to earn our livelihood, right? They say there's no free lunch, right? No free lunch, right? You want to eat your lunch, you're going to have to pay for it, right? And Hashem does it that way so that we can be connected to Him all the time. And remember, anytime you're making your Birchas HaTorah, anytime you say the Birchas HaTorah, and you say, Asher Bacha Bona Mikolo Amim, V'nosan Lonu Es Teirosei, you can turn that into an Eis Ratzon. You could turn that into an auspicious time. And that can bring hamtokas adin, a sweetening of the judgment, via just having that feeling and believing in Hashem during that time. Okay? So I want to wish everyone a wonderful day. We should all hear Besorah Tovot.